The Darci's Corner is July 19th, 2023. And I just. Hold on a second. My computer was set off and was driving me crazy for a second there. Anyway, Darci's Corner. Sometimes those are funny to have in the video. Especially if she gets her name out and then it triggers other of hers in your home if you have one. But anyway, laughing about my Alexa. You know, if you whisper, she can't hear you. She's always listening. One should be paranoid at this point. Anyway, back to my original story. I got these neighbors that are complete jerks, and they can't stand me, and they do their best to make me as uncomfortable as possible whenever they can. And they're just annoying, really. They were the ones that were scratching and sniffing my door and saying that my apartment smelled bad, therefore I had to get evicted or something. And the management came and checked it out, and they just shook their heads and walked away, and they're like, these guys are idiots. So, anyway, so I now call them Scratch and Sniff. And Scratch and Sniff right now are sitting at the picnic table that is the smoking area, and they're doing it almost as much as they can in protest of me, because if they sit there, then I'm not allowed to sit there at that time, because I went and got a court order to get them to stop harassing me, because they just wouldn't stop on their own, and it got to the point where they were throwing me out of lawn furniture. But like, I just don't like to be assaulted by these people every time I go home, and it's not every time, but it's often enough that I'm like, I don't want to fight anymore. You guys need to stop now. And they weren't going to stop, so I had to take them to court and say, hey, Your Honor, I've never been stalked before. I'm sorry. I didn't know I needed to write it down every date they did something crazy, but these guys do something crazy to me like all the time, and I'm tired of the craziness, and it can stop now. I have a life to live. I don't need these people bothering me anymore. And I said that to the judge, and she gave them a 20-minute lecture on pronouns. And then at the end of the day, I won my court order. So they're not allowed within 50 yards of me, but they live directly above me. And there's a common use area, which is what the fight was to begin with, that I was sitting there, how dare I, and talking to people. Therefore, they felt it was perfectly okay to come assault me physically. How dare I sit in the common area and talk to people? This is an area for decent folk, not for people like me. They said stuff like that to me. Okay. So I had to call the cops and say, these people are crazy and they're assaulting me, and they're doing it a lot. And like, I want it to stop now. So then I had to go file a restraining order in Wetaskiwin, which is 20 minutes away from here. And I did that the very next day. I'm like, we're going to put a stop to this now, because it's just going to keep on going. And when I went in there, I wasn't prepared to put a restraining order on somebody. I've never done it before. And you should have documentation of the first time that person started harassing you. I'm like, okay. So I wrote a little script, which was the story of what happened over the last year with these people. Ever since they moved in, they've harassed me about using my door and where I'm walking and who my friends are and whether or not my place smells bad. I'm like, you guys need to get another hobby that is not me, okay? Like, go do something that has nothing to do with me and just leave me out of it. Like, live your lives, just live them away from me. But because I got that restraining order, because I put it in place, I'm not allowed to violate it either. So I can't go within 50 meters of them, if any place they are, if it's a common use area. Now, if we're both in McDonald's, they can leave. But if we're both, living our, because they're parked right next to me. Their parking stall is exactly next to mine. So I'm chained to the hip to these people in ways that I just can't stand. And so, anyway, I did get the restraining order. So if they say a thing to me, like right now, I call the cops and they get arrested for saying something to me. So they really can't. But, which has been nice. I have to say, it's been a nice 3-month break. 3 months isn't over yet. We're at a month and a half right now. But I am glad that they can't approach me anymore about anything. Like, I am very thrilled with that. I just don't like that they're always in the common area having a cigarette, even if they're not having a cigarette, and they're just there all the time. But they're doing that so then I can't use it. And I don't really care that much because I don't use it very often. But I don't like them trying to restrict my movements. I think that's rude. However, they're petty, they're small-minded, and I really don't care if they don't like me. It's perfectly fine. Yes, you're assholes. Move on with your life. We don't have to be friends. I didn't move you in above me. You did that. Yeah. We don't advertise on the door a trans woman lives here, though. It's just an apartment. But now there is a sticker on there, a Scratch Sniff sticker, just for them. Okay? It's a little unicorn, and it's purple, and it smells like violets. And, like, it's just for that bitch. Okay? Next time she comes to sniff my apartment, she'll go, oh, look, it's violets. She won't really. Oh, she'll probably come sniff my apartment. They're weird. But it won't matter. I don't care. Anyway. So this is Darci's Corner. I'm ranting about Scratch and Sniff because, they're outside my apartment right now having a cigarette or whatever it is they're doing. People just need to get lives. They really do. And, like, move on. Anyway, Darci's Corner. Peace.